Yo guys, a while back I made a video about my top 10 favorite actors of all time. So today I'm gonna talk about my favorite actresses of all time. So let's talk about it. This video is going to be a top 5 because honestly I don't know a whole lot of actresses of who I've seen a lot of movies. And before we get to the top 5, I have a few honorable mentions. And those are Keira Knightley, Natalie Portman and Elizabeth Shue. And with all that said, let's get to the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Linda Hamilton. If you want strong female characters in action movies, look no further than Linda Hamilton's Sarah Connor in the Terminator franchise. What I love about Sarah Connor is that she's a very strong female character, and throughout Terminator 1 and 2 she has a very cool character arc from being a very helpless and scared waitress in the first movie, but she very naturally progresses to this almost military leader in the second movie. And in the second movie, she's just an absolute badass, while not coming across as just a man in female clothes. In the second movie, she's just a mother that wants to protect her son at any cost, trusting no one near her son. But eventually she has to trust the Terminator. And yeah, she just does that badass stuff very well. And she gave a great performance in the original Terminator. And even though I disliked the most recent Terminator movie a lot, it was very fun to see Linda Hamilton return to this franchise. And I also thought she was very good in Dante's Peak alongside Pierce Brosnan. Coming in at number 4 is Sigourney Weaver. Speaking of strong female characters in action movies, Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley in the Alien franchise is also a great example. And what I love about Ellen Ripley, much like Sarah Connor, is that she's a strong female character while still remaining human and, well, a woman and not just a guy in a dress. Especially in the movie Aliens, which is my favorite movie of the Alien franchise. I think in that movie she shows the most of her badass side, but also the most of her human side. I love that she tries to be a mother to Newt, which gives that movie a very strong emotional weight, which is why Aliens is my favorite movie of the franchise. And even besides the Alien franchise, I think that Sigourney Weaver is also very good in comedic roles. Like in Ghostbusters, one of the great comedy movies of the 80s. And also in Galaxy Quest, also one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. And just one of my favorite movies of all time. All because Sigourney Weaver, which is why she's in my top 5 favorite actresses. Coming in at number 3 is Julia Roberts, the most iconic rom-com actress of all time, and for good reason. She makes everyone instantly fall in love with her. Well, at least I fell immediately in love with her after seeing her in Pretty Woman. And while I wasn't a big fan of Notting Hill, I thought Julia Roberts was very great in that movie. And even besides her iconic rom-com roles. I also thought she was very great in Erin Brockovich, which I think she rightfully won the Oscar for. It's always great to see actresses and actors outside of their usual roles and absolutely nail it. And in this case, I think that Julia Roberts nailed the role of Erin Brockovich. And I also know that she starred in Ocean's 11, which I regret to say I haven't seen yet. I have to very soon. But overall, Julia Roberts is just an icon for a reason. The runner-up is Talia Shire. Of course, she stars in one of my all-time favorite movie franchises of all time, the Rocky series. And I think she's great in all of them. The very good Rocky movies and the not so good Rocky movies. But she was always consistently good in all of them. And I especially like her in Rocky 3, where instead of telling Rocky not to box, she actually gives him a very inspirational and motivational speech why he should go boxing. So that's why I like her in Rocky 3 the most. But I also can't ignore her performance in the Godfather trilogy. And there again, she's great in all of them. Whether you're talking about the groundbreaking first two Godfather movies and the kind of underrated but not as good Godfather Part 3. I think she gave heart and warmth to the movies, which she also did for the Rocky movies. But yeah, she was consistently good in all of the movies I've seen her in, which is why she is the runner-up. But coming in at number 1 is Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer stars in one of my all-time favorite movies, alongside one of my all-time favorite actors of all time, Al Pacino in Scarface, which was already enough to get to my number 1 spot actually. But I also think she is the greatest Catwoman we have to this day. Well, I haven't seen the Batman, so I don't know how the Catwoman in that movie is. But as far as I have seen, to me Michelle Pfeiffer is the definitive Catwoman. And she's also a surprisingly good singer. Like, she did all of her own singing in The Prince of Egypt, which sounded absolutely amazing. Speaking of The Prince of Egypt, that is one of my favorite animated movies of all time. And I think she gave an excellent voice performance in that movie. And she also stars alongside my favorite actor of all time, Harrison Ford, in What Lies Beneath. And well, she's also just a beautiful woman, still is to this day. But I promise you, that is not the only reason why she's my number 1 actress of all time. I just think she's a great actress, and her performance in Scarface is the reason why she is my favorite actress of all time. If you enjoyed this video, also check out my top 10 favorite actors in that corner over there. And comment down below your favorite actresses of all time. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I will return.